Hey everyone, Christina from The Rip here. Today's a little different. We've got a bonus episode, a quick fire masterclass on social media for athletes. I'm answering the questions athletes ask me most. Things like how often should you post, what's the best platform, and how to work with sponsors while keeping it real. If you haven't listened to the full masterclass for athlete social media, make sure you go back and check it out. But for now, stick around. In the next 10 minutes, you'll get practical, straight to the point answers you can start using today. I'm going to be just going through some FAQs. We put it out on social media and got some great questions coming through from some of our fans and followers. So thank you for submitting these. So there were a couple of people who were asking, how often should I post? Again, if you've got your goals and your purpose and you've figured it out, what you want to achieve and what you want to achieve and by when, you then work back from there, and based on your audience and the relationship you want to have with them, like I was suggesting, a weekly post is a really good idea and a good place to start. Posting is something that you want to kind of get the line right of, you don't need to be posting all the time in order to keep someone's attention, but you can be posting a good enough amount of time to always make sure that you're top of mind. So the recommendation would be 2 to 3 times a week on your wall. Stories you can do as much as you want, but you don't really need to be trying to do a post every single day. Unless that is if you come up with a cool campaign where you're like, I'm going to post every single day for this week to show you what my week looks like, then that's really cool because that specific type of content has a specific campaign goal. But I would just recommend, 2 to 3 times a week max, and at least once a week is a good place to start. Next up was, what is the best time to post? When it comes to time, I don't think it's as scientific as people let on. There's definitely times, however, that are better, but there's not times that are like very, very bad. Sunday evenings are pretty good because by that stage, people are all vegetables on the couch. And if you think about your audience, what are they doing, where they're at? A Monday morning, maybe not the best time to post because everyone's starting their week. You can also go into the back of your insights on Instagram or Facebook, and you are able to see when your audience is most active. So what I would recommend is taking that on board lightly, but not living by it and like worrying too much about when you are posting. If you have your audience in mind and you're thinking about when your audience will be most active, that is the best time to be thinking about when to post. So another question we got, should I do more stories, more photos, more reels? I don't think you should be doing one type of content. I think you should always be trying to get a nice mix going on. The algorithm responds differently to all these different types of mediums. So when it comes to photos, it's really helpful to do a carousel instead of just doing a single photo. Recently, Instagram has come out and said that, when you post a carousel, they'll share it once. And then once people go off, they reshare it again, showing the second photo of your carousel. So you kind of get 2 shots of showing your audience your photos. Reels are really good to post because you're able to jump on audio trends, and videos are in a separate algorithm kind of universe of Instagram. So they're really awesome. And a great type of medium to have in conjunction with your photos. You also find that sometimes people don't feel like watching a whole video and they're more interested in just scrolling through some static photos. So having a mixture of both is really good. And then when it comes to stories, like I said, these are your best friend. They can help your content live a much longer lifeline. It's a great way for you to also engage with other people's content. You don't always need to be thinking about content from a perspective of what you're creating. You can also sometimes just be reposting things that you really enjoy, reposting content from your friends and your fellow athletes, and creating a much more social environment around the content that's on the platforms. The next question was, how do I grow my following if I'm starting from scratch? So Christian and Hannah van Heerden, your dad very kindly sent through your channel, and I know that you have been starting up a new channel and trying to get it to grow. What I'd recommend, having looked at what you have going on, and this advice is to anyone who's going to be starting a channel, is have your goals, have your purpose, go through all the steps of what we discussed earlier in the masterclass, and then start playing around with the variety of content, photos, videos, and stories. Make sure that you're tagging people that is in your content so that your content can start aggregating to their audiences. Your sweet spot is if people start sharing your content on their stories, you're going to be exposed to their audiences and you'll be able to start sucking followers who are relevant and enjoy the content that you are posting. Another thing that's quite cool to do is to have a profile kind of intro video that you pin to the top of your channel. This helps people understand at a very quick glance who you are, what you're doing, why they should care about your content. So, for example, Christian and Hannah, in your case, you guys could film a video together and say like, hi, we're Christian, hi, I'm Hannah. We love life-saving and we're super passionate about it. We're based in Cape Town, South Africa, and we're using this channel to grow the awareness for life-saving because it's such a fun sport and an important movement. And now whenever anyone's going to come onto your channel, they immediately are going to understand what this channel is for and why they should care and whether it's something they should follow if they're interested in. And again, I think the final thing I'll say is consistency. Just keep consistent with your posts, start experimenting with different formats, use trending audio, and you'll start slowly building up your content. Don't forget about the social part about social media. It's not just about putting stuff out there and then not engaging with anyone. Get into the comment sections and you'll find that your channel will slowly start pulling in some more followers. Two final questions, and then we will be wrapping up. So what should I do if I don't like being on camera? This is quite a common thing that many people arrive with when they start thinking about their social media strategy, because not everyone is comfortable on camera. There's some people who are very good at it naturally, and then it feels intimidating because you're worried about, like, oh, I'm not going to look as good as them. There's many creative ways to avoid being on camera. You can record things and do voiceovers. You can record videos and put text over. But I would recommend starting to play around with it. A cool way to start doing it is to film yourself with other people. So sometimes it's more intimidating to be alone on camera talking yourself, but it's a lot easier if you're with someone else and you start getting more comfortable with that type of format. And then I think before you know it, you'll be super chilled with putting some of your own content out there. And then finally, how do I work with sponsors and still keep my content authentic? Very important question. This is when you start getting into the space of working with sponsors. Sponsors also are going to want you to work really well at making content seem authentic. No one likes when the channel that they're following, the athletes that they're following starts becoming like a verified like sales platform. You want it to feel natural. And I think this is where storytelling is key. So the brand that you are sponsored by should hopefully be a brand that you align with in terms of your values and your passion and your personality. It shouldn't feel awkward within your space. So that's very important, firstly, is to make sure that the sponsors is someone that you align with, that you actually like their product. Don't sign up for a health food supplement, but you can barely eat the food. That's just not going to create great content at all. So I think making sure you align with the sponsor first is important, and then figuring out, connecting with them and looking at other examples online of how can I fit this in but still offer value to my audience. You don't want to just be coming in as a hard salesman of like, hi guys, please buy this vacuum cleaner. Rather, take them through an entire story of how you had a very messy morning, you spilt your protein powder all over, this has been such a hectic day, but thank goodness you've got your vacuum cleaner, and now you can quickly clean it up, and that's it. You're not being paid by that brand to sit down and give people a 15-minute talk about why that vacuum cleaner is amazing. You're just trying to show why this vacuum cleaner can insert into your life so well. Yeah, and that's it. I had no idea that a vacuum cleaner would become the main brand topic that we would be talking about, but I hope it was relevant. And that's a wrap on the first masterclass. We will be bringing you many more down the line, and we hope you enjoyed it. Please comment with any more questions that you may have on social media, and we can get back to answering them.